Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while since I've not done a video, and I've been thinking about doing this video for quite some time, but I decided finally I'll give it a go and give you some updates on what's happening and the main title of this video, right? So I have been preparing for my first bodybuilding competition, which hopefully is going to happen in November. Now, why I decided to compete? I've loved bodybuilding since the day that I started lifting, right, which was about 6 years ago. It just grew in me. About 5 years, 5.5 years, I was purely just bodybuilding for, just for the fun of it, because I love lifting heavy stuff just like everyone over here. So since the last, I would say 7 to 8 months, I have been preparing for my first show. I wanted to give enough time to build a physique which is presentable on stage, right? So that's the whole reason that I'm taking this entire time, more than a year, to actually step on stage. So you probably would see quite a bit of change from what you've seen in the last video till now. Alright, long story short, I'm gonna compete, and today's topic is basically your first cycle. What should you consider? What should you be doing? What you should not do? And basically just giving you the run of the mill stuff considering the first cycle. Why I'm doing this is because I just completed, or I'm actually on my second cycle right now, which is a proper competition prep cycle. I will talk about that later, but right now this video is purely on your first cycle. Now guys, the thing is, doing a cycle is up to you, right? I mean, because it's your body, it is your choice. If you decide to do it, you're just going to do it. I'm giving you my experience and what I think how you should do it. Now, if you are not planning to step on stage, don't do it. It's risky. First of all, you're injecting synthetic hormones in your body, which will definitely have some risks involved in it as you progress. So if you're not competing, just stay away from it. Live natural, enjoy your life, eat, drink, smoke if you smoke, do whatever that you want. But if you have decided to take this seriously and you want to do something about your passion for bodybuilding, then there's a lot of sacrifice involved. The one thing that you will have to sacrifice is basically your social life. So, anyways, first cycle. Now, everybody in the bodybuilding community, who has done a bit of cycle, and even the professional folks, they will tell you your first cycle has to be and only a testosterone cycle. It can be sustanon, it can be testosterone enanthate, it can be the cypionate, anything, but only testosterone. The reason why only testosterone is because testosterone is running through your body. That is your muscle building hormones, the basic. So first, dabble with it, see how your body responds to that hormone which is already present by boosting it with, of course, injecting synthetic hormones, right? And see how your body reacts. Now, if your body takes it well, good. How much should you consider taking testosterone? Well, I would say if you just want to see how this works, for the first couple of weeks, take 125 mg of testosterone enanthate or sustanon or whatever that is. You can go up to 250 or 300 mg. Now, I would not recommend people to get onto a cycle if you haven't trained enough being a natural bodybuilder, right? I took about 5.5 years to build a solid base for myself, and that's when I decided, okay, this is the time that I have to compete, and I got into it. But if you are just starting off and if you're thinking about taking a cycle, you're doing it wrong. Don't do it. First, build a foundation for yourself and then get into a cycle. Now, the second most important thing is diet. Now, you can take all the drugs you want, you can do your testosterone cycle, you can train like a mad maniac, but the thing is, you need to ensure you have a proper diet. You're giving enough environment for your body to grow with nutrients, right? If you take in the nutrients and if you train hard, you will put on muscle in your first cycle, and it's going to be a huge change in your body overall, right? Now, the third thing that I would say is maybe you should consider looking into is getting a coach. Now, the reason why I say that is because if this is the first time that you're injecting something, if you end up with side effects, you need somebody who has experience to actually tell you, okay, this is how you mitigate that risk, right? So you need somebody who can guide you through that process. Now, the other thing, what you should consider while doing, not consider, which you should do, is before your cycle, check your testosterone, check your estradiol, check your liver, your kidney, your lipid profile, check everything. All right. Now, and then during your cycle, so let's say your first cycle is to 250 mg of testosterone and you're doing it for 10 to 12 weeks. Now, after 6 to 8 weeks, take another blood test, see where your testosterone levels are, see where your estrogen levels are, check all those values again, because at the end of the 6th week, your testosterone is going to peak in your body, right? It takes about a week and a half to actually start seeing the changes in your body because of testosterone. It peaks at 6, it saturates for some time, and then it starts to drop, right? That's how usually it works. So it doesn't mean the longer that you do a testosterone cycle or the longer that you are on a cycle, you are not going to just put on a muscle just like how you did in the initial 6 weeks. It is going to taper, and it's going to be a diminishing returns for you. So consider the length of the cycle as well when you do your testosterone cycle or your first cycle. Now, at the end of the cycle, before you get into your PCT, again, check your blood levels. Get your blood work done. Again, the same thing, you would check your testosterone, you would check your estrogen, you would check if you have any kind of puffiness in your nipples or anything, check your prolactin levels, check your kidney, check your liver, check your lipids, check everything, right? Because that's when you know what you should do to ensure your body is getting back to normal and the body is getting back to its hemostasis, right? Basically. Now, PCT is something that you should definitely consider, and a few things while you're on PCT. I'm going to talk about diet, what you should consider. I'm going to talk about training and also the PCT itself. Now, just for a testosterone cycle, you don't really have to go all balls out for your PCT, okay? You can just take, let's say, 30 days, 50 mg of clomiphene citrate and taper it down to 25 mg in the last 2 weeks. So 4 weeks is going to be your PCT. The first 2 weeks you'll probably be taking 50 mg of clomiphene, and the next 2 weeks you'll be taking 25 mg. That should be enough for just a testosterone cycle. This is just to have your natural production of sperm, semen back, because they're not producing any testosterone, right? So for your HPTA to actually kick back in, you need a SERM, which is an estrogen modulator like clomiphene citrate, to get it back up running for your body. Now, diet while you're on PCT, if you were bulking in your testosterone cycle, consider pulling your carbs down. Consider keeping the same protein amount. Consider pulling your carbs down so that you don't end up in a lot of water retention in your body while you're doing your PCT. Now, this is a mistake that I did in my first cycle, that I kept the carbs still the same, and that kind of, I was very watery. I did not have any side effects, but I was very watery and I did not really like the look during my PCT. Now, the other thing that you should consider, now this is a very common misconception that people think, that after you're done with your cycle, you lose motivation. Of course you're going to lose strength, guys, because you're no longer your body no longer have those synthetic hormone, which is testosterone, to help you with your aggressive training that you did in the first 10 to 12 weeks of your cycle. But that does not mean you reduce the intensity of your workout. Now, if you want to retain that muscle, you have to put in that work in the gym. If you don't put that work in the gym, you are going to lose muscle. So people say, you lose motivation, you lose strength. Yeah, but you give your fucking 100% in your training. You give your 100% in your diet. So that is how you will retain the muscle that you build in your first cycle. Now, I've seen a lot of people do this mistake that, they don't give a shit about their diet, they don't give a shit about their training after you're done with your cycle, and then they will just come back to their normal state. This is something that you see time and over again, and people do the same mistake again and again. This is basically it for the first cycle. Now, again, I'm not promoting this. I'm telling you, if you're not competing, don't do it. And if you are competing, or if you're planning to compete, and if you are planning to do it, get somebody who can actually help you out, guide you through the entire process. Okay, so that's it. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I will soon see you all guys with my competition prep cycle, and also give you a download on whatever that I'm doing. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.